Yo, what's up guys? New Siege video. Back at it with Siege videos like on regular pace because well we're back in the normal RTA or not RTA, normal Siege season. Um Sometimes it does happen that you have pretty easy guilds right on the first week. In this case we didn't have that. We had Origin, which we also fought in the second round of the tournament. And then we played against Owl, which is also a pretty good guild. And for us, we actually have a bunch of people that are either not playing at the moment or just taking a break or stuff like that. So we're actually playing with like pretty much a big difference in normal roster, but besides that, also a slightly how to say it, less people. Simply said, like we're just playing with less people right now. So with that, it was a little bit more of a struggle. We actually had to try hard to win this, but in the end, we did manage to win it though, which is always good. But yeah, focusing on my matches. First match is, well, to be honest, I've showcased this team quite a bunch. It doesn't really change too much. It's just a Feng Yang doing a lot of damage and then clearing stuff. However, we do also have some teams that I haven't used yet, and that is mainly also some of the buffed units. And I made a few mistakes with some of them. But yeah, this is one of those that I was... let's say this one I didn't prep that well with doing enough damage, and my Kakano didn't do enough damage. Yikes, that is not how things are supposed to be. But he doesn't have any strips, right? Like, to be honest, I forgot if Shazam has a strip. But in this case, Endure buff kind of works, right? But we're not really done yet until this hit, and then we're actually done. So that was tricky. That was not recommended. Then another hit with Mr. Agarogan. These are also somewhat tricky hits from time to time. But in most cases, if you armor break everything, you're kind of good to go. And we do land armor break on everything as in this case. And we actually don't really deal that much damage on the tanky too. So we're not done yet. And that thing actually has a pretty good cleanse. And he does a decent amount of damage there. So I was like, okay, S2, we could S2. Yeah, let's S2. So S2, S2, and then another S2. And if we stun, we're pretty much good to go. We didn't land a single stun. Was not resisted, just didn't land any stuns. And this is the tricky point because he actually goes for counters with armor breaks. Am I going to get soloed by a freaking cat, bear thing, man, bear, pig, whatever? So full HP on the Shazam again. And this is once again, I've talked about it before, this is the importance of actually having properly runed Tiana and Galleon. And I don't think he strips on that as one, actually, now to look at it. So yeah, that was a pretty useful proc. And with that, once again, as mentioned, good damage on the Galleon. Very important. I've been slacking on my teams reruning. But then another team, I haven't used this team specifically in this use case yet. I did fought pretty much the exact same team last time in the tournament. And I actually used more of a team towards, it was more with the Bolfric, Windy, and Amila? Camila? Amelia. Third one is right. So in this case, I was like, well, I have this chilling rune for defense, so might as well use this chilling for offense because, well, that is mainly what I do. If something is ruined for defense, I want to use it for offense because it does do a lot of damage and it's good rune. So for that reason, yeah, this kind of offense. And the funny thing about this is even if I get armor broken and I keep stealing that invisibility buff, he can hit me all he wants, but that's not really going to do all too much. So I just keep stealing the invisibility buff. And then sure, that unit was trying to hit me, but that doesn't really do all too much if I have invis buff. Also, I didn't really use chilling for the S2. I just used the windy for the S2. And yeah, this actually worked out pretty well. To be honest, like if you pair Windy with Camilla and any +1, that team is probably going to succeed. Like these two units are pretty much just a cheat. Like the amount of times that Camilla can freeze units, doesn't really get hit too much, heals quite a bunch, gives that slows. Same thing for the slows on the Windies. There's just so much going to it, and they have issues armor breaking you on both of those units, and then the middle unit is just clean up, and you're pretty much good to go. We did get that increased cooltime right now, which is pretty interesting, because if you increase cooltime, you can actually kill right away. Pretty nice. And now we had a team that was very differently. And this is my Prilia first time, or what is his name? I don't know, like Wind Cookie. No, Prilia's the Wind Harpy. It was something with a P as well. I already forgot. But Wind Cookie. And the interesting thing about this team specifically is there's pretty much no way to outspeed this. Like, sure, this is a 19 lead, but this is a 120 base. even if you go 33 lead and swift units, the 120 base is that much higher that you probably overcome that with good runes as well. Only thing is, to keep your Lucian in tune, you need a pretty fast Lucian. So I was not too sure about my Lucian having enough damage to actually clear this, because this is around like a 250, 260 Lucian. It still did enough damage. So that is a pretty interesting offense, I would say. And then we went in with Kumar, and Kumar actually did showcase the runes for this time, mainly for me to double check if I had the runes correctly on Kumar. And Kumar is also one of those new units that I haven't used yet. And we have this light Ivor here, which I haven't seen, and I thought like, that thing is not really going to do too much damage. Like I can S1 and then silence it, and that's pretty nice. Could do that maybe twice. He armor broke my 100 res unit. That is wrong element. And then pretty much insta-killed it. And then the Savannah decided to go 4 turns. I'm like, I'm going to lose this one, I think. Let's see how good Kumar is. Because, oh yeah, this was... wait. Redo. What happened over there with the Kumar? Like, someone guild also mentioned it. Also, I was playing this, and normally... if you have Kumar S2, you always decided to go Kumar on yourself, and then it healed the other thing if it had a chance to heal the other thing. But you always use the S2 on yourself, if I'm not mistaken. Now, since you can target someone, you can target yourself, and I guess you can double heal yourself or some nonsense, but maybe not really, I don't know. But I should have targeted the other unit, so that's the Kumar mistake. I was like, I am for sure going to lose this one right now. There's no way I'm coming back. Fire 1 on that. That does definitely help. Didn't strip that. That definitely does help as well. That fire proc definitely helps, and then you select the target on the right one. Actually, interesting enough, I used to think that Kumar always heals from his own max HP. I think he used to, but currently he heals from the target's max HP, because he's healing 16k, which is the healing that's from the HP based on whatever the Windy has. But yeah, that was too bad that that one was resisted, because this would have been killed with the Oblivion, what is one of his buffs. But in the end, Kumar is a pretty interesting unit. He does have pretty decent runes, I would say, but he does have decent healing, and it's up quite a lot. And that Oblivion state he has, still don't really think it's like a defense unit, but offense unit, I like it. I like it. It does have some potential. In the end, we see shown that with the Windy together, we 2v3 the team because the Rika died in the very first hit. But that was an interesting fight, nevertheless. Some misplays here and there, let's call it that way. Then going in with the Dougilas. More Windies. Man, all you need, if you want to do Siege properly, is just add more Windies. That's all you do to it. Any fire unit there is on the field, add more Windies. Maybe that's the reason why Kumar cannot really be on defense, because of Windies. But technically you would put the, what's it called, Oblivion on a Windy, but then it's still a Windy. That's still, no, probably not. That's, no. But yeah, in this case, you might say, like, how do you Theomars into, or how do you Douglas into a Theomars? Well, relatively simple, to be honest. You just go with a Molly and that kind of stuff. It kind of works. Plus, their whole team had no form of sustain, so technically the Molly plus the Windy could already kill it, and the moment that Douglas can take down 1 or 2 units, I'm already good to go. So that's kind of the way how to work with it. Plus, this is the Douglas on my RTA build, which is pretty strengthy. Another fight with another Lucian. I kind of wanted to go for the same Lucian that I did before with the Cookie, but I was like, if this is full tank, it's a lot more tricky, and this is easier to outspeed, so probably have to go for a Lucian on 0 speed. Which can only do with a Jhin, right? So hitting that same thing once again, it was kind of an interesting defense. We also used the mirrors before, they're pretty interesting, but in this case, I think there were some things unruined, or the twins do a lot of damage. Like, that's always what I have with twins. Like, things just evaporate, and I am like, are they not ruined, or twins doing that much damage? Well, a little bit of both. And then we have my new Neftis offense. So normally with Neftis, I always go for the Neftis, the Robo, and the Amber. But as you've seen on the video of yesterday, Amber got shitted on. Like, she does absolutely no damage anymore. So I was like, okay, I'll probably have to go for a little bit more attack, because I'm not really trusting the Nefty stats too much to do a lot of damage yet. And we're going to try it as if this case with a Isabeau. And Isabel's pretty interesting because she goes for an attack bar boost, crit rate boost, and then goes for the S3 herself. I'm not sure if I show her runes, I'll probably double check it as well. It's good that it actually gives that because I was still missing one rune, so you also see the runes on this one. So yeah, in this case, I just went for like, you need the 70 crit rate, and then you just need like a lot of damage on whatever. I kind of want damage on fire because I expected like I'm going to S3 on the Shazam, which is light. And for that reason, I'm probably like, okay, I'll probably be good to go if I go damage on fire. But what's also very good if you're using both skill 3 and skill 1 is just to go crit damage max. So that's actually what I went in the end with. I just decided to like, okay, I'm just gonna go 2 times crit damage max, 43 from crit damage max. And that does add in a little bit for like just enough damage, I think. So decent set. It is in speed tune, so the idea is, okay, we kill the Shazam, and then afterwards we can kill the Nora with the skill 1. So I was really like, okay, how much damage is she going to do with Endless Death? How much is this? 70k. That's a very good hit. Into a skill 1, 44k on that skill 1. That's also a very good hit. So this is definitely something that can be used. I have a few other ideas. I just wanted to go for the Endless Death again just to see how much damage it does. But I have a few other ideas of other things that I can use, but in the end, a pretty interesting way to clear things. And funny enough, that was my 10-10, and this is pretty much the very first siege since I have Nefties, where I use Nefties in the very last hit instead of like pretty much the very first hit. So a little bit of different things that I used today. Pretty interesting units. I do think that the Kumar is pretty good. I do think that the Wind Cookie can be used for a lot of kind of cleave teams, and I think you're going to see it with a lot of kind of cleave teams. I'll definitely be testing out a few more of those. And for Nefties, I'm still checking what's the best offense material with it, but I think I can think of a way or two. So guys, thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one.